everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Justice League review series. And today I am here once again to provide an audio commentary watch along for another favourite Justice League episode of mine. This time, Injustice for All, Parts 1 and 2. And this episode has always been one of my favourites for a lot of reasons. This was one of the first episodes I had ever seen from the animated series. I bought a US copy of the Justice League, which was one of those compilation DVDs that you used to get that featured 3 or 4 episodes from the show. And the episodes that were on this US DVD copy that I had was The Brave and the Bold, Parts 1 and 2, and Injustice for All, Parts 1 and 2. So I never really got to see the Justice League animated series that much. The only time I ever got to see it was my best friend would record it for me from Toon Army, or I'd go to his house and we would always watch it together. But other than that, that was the only time I ever got to see the animated series, so I didn't really get to see it fully until years after when I bought the whole DVD box set. Now, Injustice for All as an episode was quite a big deal for me because, as far as the DCAU was concerned, this was the first time ever that some of DC's biggest villains came together as a team to try and defeat the Justice League. And this kind of paid homage to the classic Super Friends shows of the 70s and the mid 80s, because the Super Friends shows was kind of like good versus evil. It wasn't anything dark or serious. It was quite a straightforward cartoon, good guys versus bad guys. And a lot of the battle scenes, you didn't really see anyone throwing punches at each other. It was more trying to get out of a trap or come out of a different dimension, things like that. So there was nothing serious, dark, or gritty. It was just a very straight kids' superhero show. And, to have, as far as the DCAU is concerned, all of these villains together battling the Justice League was quite special. And this was the show's first attempt at kind of like a prototype Legion of Doom, because the Legion of Doom was in Super Friends. So this is kind of like DCAU's Legion of Doom. Obviously, this episode proved to be a massive hit with the fans because we would later see various different incarnations of supervillains. We would see the Secret Society, and then eventually we would see the Legion of Doom in Justice League Unlimited. So the villains we got here for the Injustice gang, of course, we've got Lex Luthor, Copperhead, The Shade, Cheetah, Star Sapphire, Solomon Grundy, Ultra Humanite, and the Joker. So quite a little all-star cast of villains there. And from what I remember about watching this episode, I mean, it's been a long time since I've watched this because the last time that I did see this was back in 2020 when I rewatched the entire Justice League animated series. What I remember the most about this episode was it was very good. It was a lot of fun, and some areas was quite dark and serious. But for the most part, this was very solid, very enjoyable, and it paid off some great story arcs that was kind of left unresolved at the end of Superman the Animated Series. So that was kind of cool as well to see. And this episode was also quite special because apart from Batman and Superman, who of course had their own shows, none of the other Justice League members had their own shows. So some of these villains who had never appeared in any of the other shows, to have them and the other DC heroes all in the same episode was quite special because it's the only time we ever got all of them in one room. So that was quite good as well. But yeah, I really like this one a lot. It was very good, and it's been a while, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this episode. So, with that all said, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Injustice for All, and we're going to start with part one. So, here we go. Do, 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 do. So, we open this episode with Metropolis and we see LexCorp. So, Lex Luthor in the DCAU, and in particular Superman the Animated Series, he was always portrayed as this benevolent businessman who you knew was a criminal, but you couldn't prove it. And after Superman the Animated Series ended, there was always this question of whether or not Lex Luthor was ever going to get publicly exposed as a villain. So, for this part of this episode, kind of does a great job in wrapping up that story arc because we see here Superman is laying in a heap and Lex Luthor is holding the kryptonite and exposing it to him, and Superman is essentially just dying, and he asks him about how he was able to commit all the crimes that he did, and Lex admitted by saying a bribe here and a bribe there, and it's all a trap, it's all a setup, because we see here that Superman isn't really Superman at all. It's really John Jones, and with the help of Batman, was able to finally get a confession from Lex Luthor to put him away once and for all. Now, this was a great moment because I feel that something like this, if Superman the Animated Series had continued on to season 4, I think this would have been a great way to end the show because you could have had the Justice League coming together for the first time and helping Superman expose Lex Luthor as a criminal because this was one of the things that bothered me for years. You know, is Lex Luthor ever going to get exposed? I mean, we knew it was going to happen eventually, but I just didn't think we would ever get it in animation. But I'm really pleased that they paid off this story arc in the end because now that Lex Luthor has been publicly outed as a villain, he can now go after Superman and the Justice League in a big way. So now he can be the big bad that we all know from the comics. And I thought this was a great way to finally wrap up that story arc. This was very well done. Batman recording Lex Luthor's confession. Brilliant stuff here. Or even just having Batman be the one to help Superman expose Lex Luthor. I think that would have been great as well if we had got one more team up episode in season 4. If it had gone to season 4, I think that would have been really good. So here we have Lex Luthor making his escape in a spaceship. This is very Super Friends, but with a much more serious take. So we see Lex Luthor is making his escape and he pretty much blows up LexCorp. So I thought, you know, kind of a cool way to really let Lex Luthor go out with a bang. And here's Superman. Oh, I swear to God, don't get electrocuted again. I get really fed up of that. Oh, come on. See, my Superman would have just flew through that missile like it was nothing. So we see Lex is having what appears to be a cardiac arrest, and we learn why that is the case. He's holding his chest in pain, so it looks like he's having a cardiac arrest or some form of a heart attack. So Superman stops Lex Luthor's ship from crashing, and Lex passes out. Good way to open this episode, I would say. Very good way to open this episode. So Lex Luthor has been publicly outed as a villain, and he essentially collapses or has a cardiac arrest. Great way to start this episode. And what an amazing intro. I love it. And you know the ironic thing about it? This show came out in 2001, and the animation still holds up very well. It doesn't look dated or hasn't aged badly. It still looks like it was very advanced. It looks very fresh. It looks like it could have been made now. It just looks so crisp. And that's what I loved about these shows. They were so well made. Look at that. It's just absolutely beautiful. I love it. It's kind of funny you seeing all the Justice League standing together when we're getting like a Super Friends type of story. It's good. I like it. So Lex has woken up in Stryker's Island. Now, this was the moments where we learned why Lex Luthor was experiencing these pains. All the years that he walked around carrying kryptonite in his pocket caused him to develop kryptonite poisoning, or in English terms, cancer. Now, it's kind of interesting because I've always remembered in the comics kryptonite only affected Kryptonians, but we learn here that it can affect humans too, but only after a long, prolonged time exposure to kryptonite. So it's kind of funny that Lex gets publicly outed and now he has health problems. And typical Lex blames Superman. This is your fault. All of it. And Superman, being the hero that he is, he says, Lex, if there's anything I can do to help you, name it. And typical Lex, you've done enough. And we also learn that his cancer is terminal. Wow. I love what Lex says here. He just looks at Superman and says, are you happy now? Like he gave it to him. You've done enough now. Get out. Wow. Brilliant. So this is where the idea for the Injustice Gang comes together. We see Lex is next door to Ultra Humanoid, who is essentially like a super intelligent gorilla on the Grodd level. So this is where the idea for the Injustice Gang is coming into play here. Quite amazing here. Of course, typical villains, their services don't come for free. So Lex Luthor offers to pay up loads of money to help him defeat the Justice League. So essentially, he's bought the heavy hitters to do his bidding because Lex Luthor, he will always throw money at anyone to get the job done. The thing about the DCAU with Lex Luthor is they made him to be the real ultimate big bad, and that bothered me a little bit because I know Lex Luthor is one of the iconic DC villains, but anyone who knows me, I'm not a big fan of Lex Luthor. I did like this version where you knew he was a criminal, but you couldn't prove it. I did like that because I thought the storytelling was quite cool. But Lex Luthor has never ever been one of my favourite DC villains. But I thought the way he was written in the DCOU was quite cool. And Clancy Brown, he'll always be Lex Luthor to me. So we see the guards are taken out by Ultra Humanite. And this is essentially the beginning of the formation of the Injustice Gang. So here we go. Oh, the food here. You know, it's quite amazing that, Ultra Humanized, because he's got such a smart mind and because he's contributed so much, he can essentially have whatever he wants in prison. I always thought Lex Luthor would have been one of those sort of people to have all that, but he didn't. The design for Lex Luthor in his prison uniform reminds me of what he used to wear in the old Superman comics. So again, another homage there. I think that's quite cool as well. So we see Lex Luthor and Ultra Humanites are attempting to escape. This is their attempt at prison break, so to speak. Here we go. And here's Batman. Obviously, he's got wind of the breakout. Cool. Here we go. So Lex Luthor and the Humanites are on the run. So Lex Luthor's got the dynamite, and this causes a big fire. Okay. Yeah, so far this has been pretty good. It's exactly as I remember. You know, very serious episode. There are some cues that they do pay homage to Super Friends, but this is quite a serious episode from what I remember. And the burning building. Oh, I like this moment. This is a good moment. See, I'd like to see something like this in the film. Batman running into a burning building to try and save a child. I think that's a really good moment because Batman's supposed to be like this dark, mysterious creature of the night, but here he's just a hero. So I'm scared. It's going to be all right. I like it. Just shows you that Batman does have a heart, even though he looks like a guy dressed that doesn't have a heart. So it's quite cool. Yeah, I like this. Whoa. Whoa. It's a hot time in the old town tonight. Ugh! And Hawk Girl to the rescue. Nice. I'm not used to being rescued. Thanks. Nice. Yeah, good moment. I like it. Really good here. That's true, actually. Batman never says thank you. Not that often, anyway. So we see the rest of the Justice League are here now. And Flash makes a good point here because, oh, come on. Two guys can't be that hard to find. And here we have the rest of the villains making their arrival. So we see Cheetah, who is a Wonder Woman villain, and it's the only time she's ever appeared in the DCAU. She's the most iconic Wonder Woman villain ever. Yeah, so it's quite cool. There's Copperhead. Copperhead is an interesting villain because, especially in recent years, he has always been portrayed as one of Batman's villains. So he's not really anyone's villain here. He's just a DC villain. So, you know. And I think in the Arkham games, they made Copperhead a female, which always was a bit different. I just spotted the Wonder Twins statue. I think that's kind of nice. And look, there's the Gleet, the monkey. See, there's some little Super Friends Easter eggs there. And there's Solomon Grundy. Grundy, not that stupid. For a big guy, he's not very bright. And there is the Shade. Always like the Shade when he's written well. He's a great villain. One of the originals he is. I think he was in the Jay Garrick Flash comics, if I recall. But yeah, he's a great villain. The Shade, at your service. And Star Sapphire, one of the classic Green Lantern villains. Looking very, very nice. Yeah, she would make quite a number of appearances in the DCOU. And there's Ultra Humanite and Lex Luthor. See, this is how you know this is a Super Friends tribute because Lex Luthor is wearing the classic purple and green suit that he always wore in the comics. He even wore it in the Super Friends show as well. So I think that's kind of cool. And Lex Luthor has brought these guys together for one reason: to defeat the Justice League. And of course, Lex Luthor is never short of money. So even though all of these guys don't really like each other, they all have a common enemy: the Justice League. So no honor among thieves, eh? Here's the watchtower. I like this. This is so funny. That's pretty fast. What can I say? Fastest man alive. Which would probably explain why he can't get a date. Yeah. Hey! What do you be quiet? And this is setting the stage for the big battle between the Justice League and the Injustice gang. I get why they wouldn't call it the Legion of Doom because they didn't quite assemble the rest of the villains, but it still kind of is in a way. You know, the Legion of Doom. There's John Stewart, my favourite Green Lantern. And there's Superman. Are you okay? Ah, here we go. It's go time. Oh, this is good. So we're essentially getting all of the iconic heroes and villains going at it. Nice. Oh, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? Superman would get blasted by Star Sapphire's powers? Oh, come on. We get an interesting moment later on between Cheetah and Batman. If you guys have seen this episode, you know what I'm talking about. And Lex Luthor just watching all of this going on. And here's Hawk Girl. Hey, yeah! Nice. There we go. Cool. I like that. Flash is just there. Nice. The shade. Shady. There we go. One thing I liked about the Justice League animated series, the fight sequences were always good. I mean, it's kind of hard to pull something like that off with multiple characters, but I thought Bruce Timm and the gang pulled it off really well. I thought they did a really good job doing that because it can be quite difficult to animate so much, things going on, but they pull it off really well here. Uh, pew 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 pew. He realizes Lex is on his own. You're mine. Wow. Come on, Superman. This is ridiculous. There's Batman taking out Lex. It's over, Luthor. Wow, Lex Luthor throwing hands against Batman. Who'd ever thought that? Pew, pew, pew. Look out! Oh, uh-oh. There goes our paycheck. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you, Lex. I'm sure. Because I know they're all in it for money. That's why. Oh, bite me. Of course, anyone who knows Copperhead, he's a cobra with poisonous fangs. Oh, wow. Wow. Good fight here. We're outnumbered here. Then do something. Shady. Wow. I like that how Shade's got this power to essentially turn black like light. I think that's quite an amazing power. Hey, they got one. They got one. We got one of them. Yeah, but they got one of us. Oh dear. Yeah, poor Batman. Welcome back. We almost lost you. Okay, let's go. No, you stay here. That venom almost killed you tonight. So? So you're staying here. Wow. Well, the way Superman tells Batman off, no, you stay. All right. This is a cool line here from John Jones. I know this must be difficult for you, feeling vulnerable. You're the only one on this team who has no special powers, but you don't have to prove yourself every time. I'm taking the javelin, unless you want to stop me. No. Mind you, though, it'd be interesting. Could Batman take out John Jones? I don't know. Unless he's got a contingency plan. Maybe. And Lex here is just chewing out the whole team here. Really? Did you fight like your lives depended on it? No. Wow. Oh, yeah, well. Oh, God. Yeah, do it anyway. You'll be saving me a lifetime of bedpans. Oh, Grundy not that stupid. And they say I'm crazy. It's done wonders for me. Oh, Lex. How could you have this party without me? It's not a party. So, Joker doesn't get recruited here. He just invites himself. But one thing I learn about this episode in particular is Joker actually proves he can be a team player when he wants to be. And I like the fact that the reason why Joker was never invited to join this team is simply for one reason. He's too dangerous and he's crazy. But Joker proves to be very resourceful. And Joker pretty much says to Lex, I know how the Bat thinks. And he picks up a Bat Tracer. Wicked. Now, the Joker has gone through a number of different designs in the DCAU. Obviously, you got the classic BTAS design, which for me is legendary. The TNBA design was horrendous, especially as he had no red lips. But the design they came up for him in the Justice League, which they used in Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, was kind of cool because it's kind of like a blend between TNBA and BTAS. And the fact that they gave him little red dots in his pupils, a nice touch. Really nice touch. So Joker has invited himself into the team. And here's Batman. Wow. Awesome. Batman has infiltrated the Injustice Gang's lair. Oh, God. Boom! So Joker just clobbers Batman with a bag of rocks. And isn't it funny, after all those years, Killer Croc said, hit him with a rock. Joker actually did. He did hit Batman with a rock. And this is one of Mark Hamill's best laughs ever. Awesome. Joker proving that he can be a team player when he wants to be. Excellent. Yep, this was fantastic. This was great. Part one was brilliant. So, with that all said, we're going to move straight on to Injustice for All, Part 2. So, here's Part 2 of Injustice for All, and this pretty much picks up where we left off from the end of Part 1, where the Joker smacked Batman over the head with a bag of rocks. So, Joker, for the most part, has proven to be a team player. Strange saying that. Joker and team player in the same sentence. And it's quite funny because Joker, you know, he's not really known for being intelligent, but he makes a good point here. We've got Batman, let's take him out now. And Lex says, no, we'll keep him until we no longer need him. And they say I'm crazy. And guess what? At the end, Joker was proven to be right, and everyone was like, man, maybe we should have listened to him after all. Uh, and Joker again telling Lex, see, I told you. uh, you know you've messed up when Joker is the voice of reason. It's not good. So we've got the two big guys keeping an eye on Batman. I like what Batman does here, creating dissension between the teammates. Grundy, how much is Luthor paying you? A lot more than him. No one's getting more than I am. I love that. Oh, here we go. Grundy doesn't like the fact that someone's getting more money than him. Oh no. Here we go. I like what Joker says here. What do you hope to find? Bat breath mints, perhaps? Keys to the Batmobile? There we go. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh, the two big boys rolling around. Knock it off, both of you! You two are killing me faster than the kryptonite. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like Batman's really going to tell you. Ah, Cheetah and Batman. Batman definitely has a fetish for cats. Catwoman, and now Cheetah. Wow. Everyone's getting fed up with Lex. Perhaps we should get paid now. Oh dear. Everyone's like, oh, I've had enough of this guy. I'll pay you double. Fine. Triple then. See? They got Lex by the balls. And his wallet. Oh, this is where they interrogate Copperhead. What would have made this scene even funnier if Flash was drinking coffee, to really give it the old good cop, bad cop vibe. I'm warning you. How does Batman do it? Because he's Batman. Yes, Superman, as great as he is, Batman's the master of interrogation. Oh, how does Batman do it? Oh, here we go. Batman's going to get some cheetah cheeks. So, yeah, he pretty much seduces Cheetah. Smooth, Batsy, smooth. Maybe I like danger. Really? Try me. Woohoo! Batman will do almost anything, and I mean anything, to save himself, even if it means kissing a furball. Oh god, look at the Joker spinning around in the chair. It's interesting how two of the biggest villains on this entire team are both wearing green and purple. Oh, here we go. And after all that, Lex has got the utility belt open. Oh, what are they looking for? Woohoo! What are you doing, you idiot? Oops. Don't touch anything. Here it is. The control to the watchtower. Here we go. It's funny because they're attempting to blow up the watchtower. I seem to recall that this attempt would happen again in a Justice League Unlimited episode called Task Force X. So this wouldn't be the first time that villains attempted to blow up the watchtower. Here we go. Oh, John spotted them. Oh, here we go. From what I remember, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen this episode, but John Jones didn't really have a big part in this episode. I mean, yeah, he was in it, but he never had a big part in this one, so he wasn't really featured that much. Here we go. Yeah, Interrogator was never one of Superman's strong points, as great as he is. Uh, Joker's brought the TV in to watch the end of the Justice League. It's no laughing matter. See for yourself. Popcorn? Okay, more for me then. Bob. Joker, you nauseate me. Here we go. The dynamic between Batman and the Joker never gets old. It's funny because in the Justice League animated series, Joker had three appearances. One in Injustice for All, a two-parter, and Wildcard, and a cameo in A Better World, in the Justice Lord world. And that's it. I'm quite surprised that we didn't get to see more Batman villains appear in the Justice League. I mean, I suppose they didn't really want to turn it into a Batman show, but I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't get to see more Batman villains show up. A little bit surprised about that, but I suppose it's for the best, really. So here's Lex Luthor and all of the Injustice gang waiting for the destruction of the Justice League. And Cheetah is feeling a little bit guilty now. I mean, Batman did literally just snog her face off, so I suppose she would feel a bit guilty. And Wonder Woman's just got the message that there's a bomb on the watchtower that's a cold red. Here we go. And we later learn that the snitch was actually Cheetah. So even though Cheetah was a villain, she kind of helped the Justice League in a way. So we see everyone's just flying around looking for the bomb. Come on, Superman. Use that X-ray vision. Come on. Yeah. Oh, and my man's got something. And there it is. I found it. Go on, Flash. Quick, quick, quick. Boom. Yes. What? Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Screw the telly. I never liked it anyway. Alright. Who's the traitor? Well, it's not me. I'm out of here. Oh, dear. What's the point? We lost. We can still beat them. We can lure them here if we just stick together. Grundy not stupid. Villains will do anything for money. So, okay. You twisted my arm. Here we go. Oh, boy. Poor Jean. Not a good time to be the team, I know that. First Batman got hurt and then John Jones. Here we go. They ruined the punchline. No matter, I still get to have my fun. Oh. Sport. No, Luthor don't want you alone with him. Oh, Solomon. Go away. Oh, boy. So clever. Can you give me some water, please? Sure. Big mistake, Grundy. And that's it. Grundy realizes now. Uh-oh. Jean, can you hear me? I know where Batman is. So they're putting together the pacemaker for Lex Luthor to slow down the kryptonite poisoning. Here we go. So this will keep him alive. Well, for how long? Who knows? There we go. Yeah, that's it. Clever. Oh, I think Ultra Humanite was just doing that to be a chief. That's it. It'll keep him alive. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Grundy. Grundy says we got problem. Oh, boy. And they realise that Cheetah is the traitor. Uh, should always be careful. You know, you can never be sure who's watching you. Here we are. Batman clapped her cheeks. Woohoo! I hope it was worth it. I would never, Come on, I'm on your side, guys. Eliminate her. Oh. Hello, my little kitty. See, I can be a team player. Oh, boy. Wow, Joker being a team player. Crazy. Where's the Joker? Interesting. I don't think we saw Cheetah after this episode. I have to go and check, but no, I don't think she made any more appearances after this, best as I can tell. Here we go. Getting ready for the final battle now. Sean, look out. It's a trap. Uh, I'm getting a bit tired of everyone keep getting electrocuted all the time. It's getting old. Oh, we're going to do things my way. Okay, Shira. Do it your way. Here we go. Yep. Now it's the final battle. Justice League versus Injustice Gang. I wouldn't expect. No. I wouldn't expect Joker to get involved. Wonder Twins. I'll take that. Uh-oh. Woohoo! Oh, bonk, donk. Would be careful, Wonder Woman. Oh, come on. Even Batman wouldn't fall for that. Oh, and here comes the two big bullers going at it, Superman and Grundy. Go on, Superman. Brilliant. That's it. Lantern versus Sapphire. Oh, poor Star Sapphire. Go on, Flash. Done. Done. Oh, Superman's giving Grundy a good old beating. Oh, the old marbles. I remember that in World's Finest. Yep, Superman took out the big man. Nice. And this is the first appearance of the kryptonite suit, the suit of armor, which was a staple in the comics. With every weakness, turn it to a strength. Yeah, this was a big thing in the comics for years. The suit of armor. I'd love to see that in the film one day. Might get that. Wow. Wow. Humanite turned on Lex Luthor and surrendered. Oh well, I can still have my fun. Yep. Someone should have kept the better eye on Batman. Uh oh. Do, 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 do. That's it. Just see Batman just distracted everyone. Clever. One punch and that's it. You're despicable. Well played, Batman. Well played. You'll keep out a bargain. Consider it done. Brilliant. What deal? There we go. I think the deal was a better TV. Yeah, I think it was actually. Uh, you turncoat, you're gonna pay for this. Nice. So you got a brand new TV. Exquisite. Human doesn't care. And that wraps up Injustice for All, Part 2. Overall, both great episodes. I wouldn't like to say one was better than the other. Both of them were great. I really enjoyed seeing all of these different villains going at it against the Justice League, and seeing the Joker as a team player was just weird, but different. You know, sometimes different can be good. And this was a really fun episode. And as I said at the beginning, one of my favourites and quite a special one for me as well. This was really good. And this wouldn't be the last time we would see a group of villains taking a fight to the Justice League. We would see some of these Injustice members would go on to join the secret society, and we would see the Injustice Gang put back together as one of the warriors from Themyscira would take over the team. But yeah, this was really good. I really enjoyed this one a lot. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. What did you guys think of Injustice for All Parts 1 and 2? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy Part 1 or did you enjoy Part 2? What was your thoughts on Lex Luthor finally being publicly outed as a villain? Did you enjoy that? Do you think that was a great way to wrap up that story arc from Superman the Animated Series? And what was your thoughts on all of the villains coming together as the Injustice Gang? Did some of it reminded you of Super Friends? And what did you think of the Joker's role in this episode? Do you think he was a team player? And do you think this episode worked with the Joker involved? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Justice League review series. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.